43 Temple Drive, is that right?
It's old, but we love it. It's our home.
So you wish to enter your brother here into the sanitarium for treatment. Your brother's name?
I'm sorry. These things aren't easy for any of us, but I'll have to pick my head up and go on just the same. That's what I can tell Myrtle, and that's what Myrtle May keeps telling me. She's heartbroken about her Uncle Elwood. Elwood P. Dowd. That's it.
Elwood P. Dowd. His age?
47 of last April. He's a Taurus. The bull. I'm a Leo. Myrtle is on a cusp.
47. Is he married?
Oh no. Elwood has never married. He was always a good homeboy. He stayed with Mother. He loved his home.
Do you have him with you now?
Oh yes. He's down in a taxi cab in the driveway. I paid the man $1 to watch him, but I didn't tell him why. You can't tell these things to perfect strangers.
Wilson, will you sit down to the taxi in the driveway and ask Mr. Dowd if he would be good enough to step up to room number 24 South Moonji?
Ask him?
This is his sister, Mrs. Simmons.
How do? Why, certainly. I'll be glad to escort him.
Thank you.
The readings here you'll find them here on this card.
Oh no, that won't be necessary. This will all be taken care of by my late mother's estate. Marcella Penny Dowd. Judge Gaffney is our attorney.
I'll see if Dr. Sanderson can see you.
Sanderson? I want to see Dr. Chumley himself.
Dr. Sanderson is the one that sees everyone. Dr. Chumley sees no one.
He's still a psychiatrist, isn't he? He's still head of this institution, isn't he?
Still a psychiatrist? Dr. Chumley is more than that. He is a psychiatrist with a national reputation. When anyone has a meltdown, they at once think of Dr. Chumley.
That's his office, isn't it? Well, you march right in there and tell him I want to see him. If he knows who's out here, he'll come out here.
I wouldn't dare disturb him, Mrs. Simmons. I would be discharged if I did.
Well, I don't like to be pushed off onto any second fiddle.
Dr. Sanderson isn't anyone's second fiddle. He's young, of course, and hasn't been at medical school very long. But Dr. Chumley tried out 12 and kept Dr. Sanderson. He's really wonderful. To patients.
Very well. Send him in here.
Right away.
Oh, dear.
Veda, isn't this wonderful?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, my. Oh, no.
Mrs. Simmons!
You startled me. I didn't hear you come in. You're Dr. Sanderson?
Yes, will you be seated, please?
Oh, yes. I certainly hope you don't think I'm jumpy like that all the time. It's just
Of course not. Miss Kelly tells me you're concerned about your brother. Dowd, is it? Elwood P. Dowd?
It's just... Doctor, this isn't easy for me.
Naturally, these things aren't easy for the families of patients. I understand.
It's what Elwood's doing to himself. That's the thing. Myrtle May has a right to nice friends. She's young and her whole life is before her. That's my daughter.
Your daughter. How long has it been since you began to notice any peculiarity in your brother's actions?
I noticed it right away when Mother died. When Myrtle May and I came back from Des Moines to live with Elwood, I could see Daddy.
Daddy what, Mrs. Simmons? Take your time. Don't stray. Let it come. I'll wait for it.
Doctor, everything I say to you is confidential, isn't it?
That's understood.
Because it's a slap in the face to everything we stood for in this community, the way that Elwood's acting now.
I'm not a gossip, Mrs. Simmons. I'm a psychiatrist.
Well, for one thing, he drinks.
To excess.
To excess? Well, wouldn't you call it excess when a man never lets a day go by without stepping into one of those cheap taverns, sitting around with riff-raff and people you never heard of, and inviting them to your home, giving them food and money? If that isn't excess, Doctor, I'm sure I don't know what excess is.
I didn't doubt your statement, Mrs. Simmons. I merely asked if your brother drinks.
Oh yes, I would certainly say that Elwood drinks. And I want a permanent commitment out here for him, because I cannot stand another minute of that Harvey. Myrtle May and I have to move over on the sofa to make room for Harvey. We have to set a place at the table for Harvey. We have to answer the phone when Elwood calls and asks to speak to Harvey. Doctor, don't you think it would have been a little bit kinder of Mother to have written and told me about Harvey? Be honest now, don't you?
I can answer that question.
Well, I can't. It certainly would have.
This person you call Harvey, who is he?
He's a rabbit.
Perhaps, but just who is he? Some companion, someone your brother has picked up in one of these bars of whom you disapprove?
Doctor, I've been telling you. Harvey's a rabbit. A big white rabbit. 6 feet high. Or is it 6 foot and a half? Heaven knows I ought to know. He's
No.
been around the house long enough.
Now, Mrs. Simmons, let me understand this. You said,
I said, of course Harvey lives with us. Elwood and him do everything together. Elwood buys railroad tickets, theater tickets for the both of them. Doctor, I'm going to tell you something that I've never told anybody before. Every once in a while, I see that big white rabbit myself. No, isn't that terrible?
Mrs. Simmons,
I never even told that to Myrtle May. But don't you tell that to anybody, Doctor. I'm ashamed of it.
Mrs. Simmons,
And what's more, he's just as big as Elwood says he is. Doctor, it's too much. I just can't take it.
Mrs. Simmons, your mother's death depressed you considerably.
Nobody knows how much.
You've been worrying a great deal.
Yes, Doctor.
Have you been losing sleep?
I don't think it's sleeping in the house with that going on.
Short-tempered over trifles?
You try living in a house with those two and see how your temper holds up.
Loss of appetite?
Nobody could eat at a table with my brother and Harvey. Well, I'll sell the house. I'll be appointed to estate. Doctor, I just can't take it.
Of course, Mrs. Simmons, of course, you're tired.
Yes, Doctor.
You've been worrying a great deal.
Yes, Doctor.
And now I want to help you.
Oh, Doctor.
Just stay right here. I'll be right back.
Well, I'll go down to the cabin, get Elwood and his things.
Why didn't anybody answer the buzzer?
I didn't hear, Doctor.
I rang and rang. Mrs. Simmons, sound the gong, Wilson Apple must not leave the grounds.
She's begged for the getaway, huh, Doc?
Her condition is serious. Go after her.
I can't believe it.
Main gate, Henry. Dr. Sanderson. Allow no one out of the main gate. We're looking for a patient. I should have left her alone, but nobody answered the buzzer.
Wilson was in the south, Doctor.
What have we available, Miss Kelly?
Number 13 Upper West R is ready.
Have her taken up there immediately, and I'll prescribe preliminary treatment. In the meantime, we must contact her brother. Dowd is the name. Elwood P. Dowd. Get him on the phone for me, will you please, Miss Kelly?
But Doctor, I didn't know it was the woman who needed the treatment. She said it was for her brother.
Of course she did. It's the oldest dodge in the world, always used by a cunning type of psychopath. She apparently knew her brother was about to commit her, so she came out to discredit him. Now get him on the phone for me, will you please, Miss Kelly?
But Doctor, I thought she was all right. So I had Wilson take Mr. Dowd up to number 24 South Wing G. He's there now.
You had Wilson take the brother in? No gags. Please, Kelly, you aren't serious, are you?
I did. I'm terribly sorry.
If you're sorry, that just fixes everything!
I'll do it. Mrs. Dumpy, will you please unlock the door to number 24 and give Mr. Dowd his clothes and...
Ask him to step down to the office right away.
Ask him to step down to the office right away. There's been a terrible mistake, and Dr. Sanderson wants to explain.
Explain, apologize!
Thank heavens they hadn't put him in the hydro tub yet. They'll let him out now.
Beautiful. And dumb, too. It's almost too good to be true.
But doctor, I didn't know. Judge Gaffney called and said that Mrs. Simmons and her brother would be out here. And when she came in here, you don't have to be sarcastic.
Oh, but don't I? Stop worrying, we'll squirm out of it in some way.
Where are you going?
To tell the chief about it, Kelly, he may want to handle this himself.
He'll be furious, and then he'll die, and then he'll terminate me.
The responsibility is all mine.
No, tell him it was my fault.
I'll never mention your name, except in my sleep.
But this man, Dow.
Keep him here, Kelly, I'll be right back.
But what shall I say to him? What shall I do? He'll be furious.
Look, Kelly, he'll be too fit to be tied, but he's a man, isn't he?
I guess so. His name is Mister.
Look, Kelly, go into your old routine. You know, the eyes, the swish, the works. I'm immune, but I've seen it work on plenty of people. Some of the patients out here. Keep him here, Kelly, even if you have to do striptease.
Oh, you're so wonderful, Dr. Sanderson! You're about the most wonderful person I've met in my entire life!
Yeah, how about giving me a lift just the same?
What?
That Simmons dame,
Did you catch her?
slick as a whistle. She was coming along the path, humming a little tune, so I jumped out at her from behind a tree. I said, "Sister, there's a man that wants to see you." Should have heard her yell. She's wacky, all right.
Take her up to number 13 Upper West Hall.
She's up there now. Brought her in through the dive kitchen. She's kicking and screaming like hell. I'll hold her down if you come up and undress her.
Wait a minute, Wilson. Dr. Sanderson told me to wait here.
Make it snappy.
You're Mr. Dow.
Hello, Pete.
I'm Miss Kelly.
Happy to know you. Let me give you one of my cards. You just want to call me at this number. Don't call me at that one because that's the old one.
Thank you.
Perfectly all right. And don't worry, if you lose it, I have plenty more.
Won't you have a chair, Mr. Dow?
Thank you, I hope too. Allow me.
Dr. Sanderson is very anxious to speak with you, but won't you sit down?
After you.
Oh, I really can't. I'm in and out all the time, but you mustn't mind me. Please sit down.
After you.
Won't you have a magazine to look at?
If you don't mind, I would much rather look at you, Miss Kelly. You are really lovely.
Oh, thank you. Some people don't seem to think so.
Some people are blind. That is very often brought to my attention. Now, if you allow me to introduce.
Mr. Dow!
Hello, Pete. Let me give you one of my cards. You should...
Mr. Dow, I'm Dr. Lyman Sanderson, Dr. Tomey's assistant out here.
Ah, happy to know you. How are you, doctor?
That's going to depend on you, I'm afraid. Now, won't you have a seat? You've met Miss Kelly, Mr. Dow.
I've had that pleasure, and I would like both of you to meet a very dear friend of mine.
Later, I'll be glad to. Now, won't you have a seat? Because first I want
Miss
to...
Kelly.
Sit down, Kelly. Is that chair quite comfortable, Mr. Dow?
Yes. Would you care to try it?
No, thank you. How about an ashtray there? Could we give Mr. Dow an ashtray? Is it too warm in here for you, Mr. Dow? Would you like me to open the window?
Mr. Dow, Dr. Sanderson wants to know if he should open a window.
It's entirely up to him. I wouldn't presume to live his life for him.
Mr. Dow, I can see that you're not the type of person to be taken in by any high-flown phrases or beating around the bush.
Is that so, doctor?
You have us at a disadvantage here. You know it, we know it, let's lay the cards on the table.
That certainly appeals to me, doctor.
Best play in the long run. People are people, no matter where you go.
That is very often the case.
And being human are therefore liable to mistakes. Miss Kelly and I have made one here this afternoon, and we'd like to explain it to you.
It wasn't Dr. Sanderson's fault. It was mine.
A human failing, as I said.
I find it very interesting, nevertheless, you and Miss Kelly here.
We do hope you understand, Mr. Dow.
Yes, these things are very often the basis of a long and warm friendship.
And the responsibility is, of course, not hers, but mine.
Your attitude may be old-fashioned, Doctor, but I like it.
Now, if I had seen your sister first, this would have been an entirely different story.
Now, there you surprise me. I think the world know of Veda, but I suppose she has seen her day.
You must not attach any blame to her. Your sister is a very sick woman. She came in here insisting you were the one in need of treatment. That's perfectly ridiculous.
Veda shouldn't worry about me. I get along fine.
Exactly. But your sister had already talked to Miss Kelly here and we received a call from her family lawyer, Judge Gaffney.
Oh, yeah, I know. And his wife, too. Wonderful people.
Is there something I can get for you, Mr. Dow?
What do you have in mind?
A light. Here, I'll leave you a light. Your sister was extremely nervous and plunged into a heated tirade on your drinking.
That was Veda?
She became hysterical.
I tell Veda not to worry about that. I'll take care of that.
Exactly. Oh, I suppose you take a drink every now and then, same as the rest of us.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, Doctor, I would like one right now.
Matter of fact, so would I. But your sister's reaction to the whole matter of drinking was entirely too intense. Did your sister drink, Mr. Dow?
No, I don't believe Veda has ever taken a drink.
Well, I'm going to surprise you. I think she has and does. Constantly.
I certainly am surprised.
But it's not your sister's alcoholism that's going to be the basis for my diagnosis. It is much more serious than that. It was when she began talking so emotionally about this big white rabbit, Harvey. Yes, I believe she called him Harvey.
Harvey is his name.
She claimed you were persecuting her with this Harvey.
I wasn't persecuting Veda with Harvey. She shouldn't feel that way at all. And now, before we go any further, I'd like to introduce...
Let me make my point first. This trouble of your sister's didn't spring up overnight. Her condition stems from trauma.
From what?
From trauma, spelled Trauma. It means shock. Nothing unusual about it. There's the birth trauma, the shock to the act of being born.
That's the one we never get over.
You have a nice sense of humor, Dad. Hasn't he, Miss Kelly?
Yes, Doctor.
Thank you. May they say the same about both of you.
To sum it all up, your sister's condition is serious, but I can help her. She must remain out here temporarily.
I've always wanted Veda to have everything she needs.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't want her to stay out here unless she liked it here and was willing to stay here.
Of course. Did Wilson get what he went after, Miss Kelly?
Yes, Doctor.
And what was Mrs. Sims' attitude?
Nothing unusual.
Mr. Dow, if this were an ordinary delusion, something reflected upon the memory picture, in other words, if this were something your sister had seen once, that would be one thing. But it's much more serious than that. It stands to reason that nobody has ever seen a big white rabbit 6 feet high.
Not very often, Doctor.
I like you, Dow.
I like you too, Doctor, and Miss Kelly here.
So your sister must remain out here temporarily. Under these circumstances, I would commit my own grandmother.
Does your grandmother drink too?
Just an expression. Now, you sign these temporary commitment forms as next of kin, just a formality.
You better have Veda do that, Doctor. She does all the signing for the family. She's good at it.
We can't disturb her now.
Perhaps we better talk it over with Judge Gaffney.
No need to. How am I advised it? And it isn't as if you could drop in here at any given point and make inquiries. Be glad to have you. Tell you what, I'll make out a full visitor's pass for you. When would you like to return? Wednesday, say? Friday, say?
Well, you and Miss Kelly have been so pleasant here. I can return around dinner in an hour.
Well, we're pretty busy around here, but I guess that's all right.
I don't really have to go now. I'm not that hungry.
Delighted to have you stay. But Miss Kelly and I have to get back on upstairs now. Plenty of work to do. But I tell you what you might like to do.
What might I like to do?
Just to make sure in your mind that your sister's in good hands, why don't you have a look around here? If you go through this door and take a right just beyond the stairway, you'll find the occupational therapy room, and beyond that, the conservatory, the library, and the dining kitchen.
For Veda's sake, I better do that, Doctor.
Very well then. It's a pleasure to have this little chat with you, Mr. Dowd.
I've enjoyed it too, meeting you and Miss Kelly here.
It may say that for a layman, you've shown acute perception into psychiatric problems.
Is that so, Doctor? I never thought I knew anything about that. No one does, do you think?
Well, the good psychiatrist isn't found under every bush.
You just have to pick the right bush. I'll tell you what, since we all seem to have enjoyed this so much, let us keep right on. I'd like to invite both of you to come downtown with me and have a drink. When I enjoy people, I like to stay right with them.
Sorry, on duty now. Give us a rain check. Some other time be glad to.
When?
Oh, I don't know. Miss Kelly and I don't get off duty until 10 o'clock at night.
You must come down at 10 o'clock tonight.
Well.
And Miss Kelly?
Dr. Chumley doesn't approve of member of staff fraternizing, but since you've been so understanding, perhaps we can manage it.
Very well. I will pick you up at a cab at 10 o'clock tonight, and the four of us will spend a happy evening. Later on, I want both of you to become acquainted with a very dear friend of mine. You said later on, so later on it will be. Goodbye now.
Whew, I can breathe again.
Boy, all right. That man is proud. What he has to be proud of, I have no idea. But I played up to that pride. You give to almost anybody if you want to. Now I'm just looking on that Simmons woman.
Doctor, you say you can get to anybody if you want to. How do you do that?
Takes study, years of specialized training. But I tell you what I don't like about this Dowd business.
What's that?
That date that we had to make with him tonight. Of course, he left his sanitarium, a good friend and booster, and I'll go with him and have a drink. But you don't have to go.
Oh?
No point in it. I'll sit him down, have a drink, pat him on the back, and leave. I've got a date tonight anyways.
Oh, I didn't want to go anyways. The idea bored me stiff. I wouldn't go if I couldn't go anywhere again. I wouldn't go if my life depended on it.
What are you getting so emotional about, Kelly?
He may be a peculiar man with funny clothes, but he knows how to act. His manners were perfect.
I saw you giving him the dog-puss stare. I didn't miss that.
He wouldn't sit down till I sat down. He said I was lovely, and he called me dear. I would go to have a drink with him tonight if you weren't going.
Sure he would. And look at him. All he does is hang around bars. He doesn't work. All that corny bowing and getting up out of his seat every time a woman makes a move. Why, he's as outdated as a cast iron deer. But you would sit with him in a bar and let him flatter you all night. You are a wonderful girl, Kelly.
Oh, let me tell you something, you.
Dr. Sanderson, Miss Kelly,
Yes, doctor.
tell the gardener to prune more carefully around my prized dahlias along the main fence. They'll be ready for cutting next week. The difficulty of the woman who has a large white rabbit. Has it been smoothed over?
Yes, doctor. Her brother was quite reasonable.
Well, I have had many patients out here who said they've seen an animal before. I've never before had a patient who said they've seen an animal that large.
Yeah, doctor. She called him Harvey.
Harvey. Unusual name for an animal of any kind. Harvey is a man's name. I know several men in my day named Harvey, but not an animal whatsoever with that name. This case has an interesting phase, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
I will now go upstairs with you and look in on this woman. It may be that we can use my Formula 977 on her. I'll give you my advice to prescribe her the treatment.
Thank you, doctor.
And now, whose hat and coat was on the chair?
I don't know. Was it Dowd's, Miss Kelly?
I don't know, doctor. Maybe it was one of his relatives.
Hand me the hat. There may be some kind of identification here. What's this? What's this? 2 holes cut in the top of the hat. See?
That's strange.
Some new fad. Hang them up. Get them out of here.
Hello, Dr. Chumley.
Oh, there you are.
How is every little old thing?
Fair. Thank you, Wilson. Fair.
Look, someone's gonna have to give me a hand with the Simmons dame. Order a restraining jacket or something. She's terrible. You forgot about me, didn't you? Well, I'll have you know that I got her corset off all by myself.
We're going up to see this patient right now, Wilson.
She's in a hydro tub. By God, I left the water running on her.
Willie, remember your promise. Hello, Dr. Sanderson. Willie, you haven't forgotten. Dr. McClare's cocktail party, we promised him faithfully.
That's right. Gotta go check in on the patient now. Be down shortly.
Give a quick little diagnosis, Willie. You don't want to be late to the party. I'm dying to see the inside of that house. Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Mrs. Chumley, Dr. Chumley's wife.
Happy to know you. Dowd is my name, LP. Let me give you one of my cards. If you just want to call me at this number. Don't call me at that one because that's the old one.
Thank you. Is there something I can do for you?
What'd you have in mind?
You seem to be looking for someone.
Yes, I'm looking for Harvey. I went off without him.
Harvey, is he a patient here?
No, nothing like that.
Does he work here?
No, he is what you might call my best friend. He is also a puka. He came out here with Veda and I this afternoon.
Where was he when you last saw him?
He was in that chair there with his hat and coat and the armrest.
There doesn't seem to be any hat coat around here now. Perhaps he left.
Perhaps I don't see him anywhere.
What was that word you just said? Puka?
Yes, that's it.
Is that something new?
No, as I understand it, that's something very old.
Oh, really? Well, I never happened to hear it before.
Not too surprised at that. I had him myself until I met him. I do hope you get a chance to meet him. I'm sure he'd be quite taken with you.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a nice thing for you to say so, I'm sure.
Perfectly all right. If Harvey happens to take a liking to people, he expresses himself quite definitely. If he's not particularly interested, he just sits there like an empty chair or an empty space on the floor. Harvey takes his time in making up his mind about people. Choosy, you see.
Well, that's not such a bad way to be in this day and age.
Harvey is very fond of my sister Veda. That's because Veda and I come from the same family, and Harvey is fond of me. Now, you'd think that feeling would be mutual, right? But unfortunately, Veda doesn't seem to care for Harvey. It's rather too unfortunate, don't you think?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Dow. I gave up a long time ago to my family life and friends. It's useless.
Well, we must keep on trying.
Well, there's no harm trying, I suppose.
Because if Harvey has said to me once, he said 1,000,000 times, Mr. Dowd, I would do anything for you. Mrs. Chumley,
Yes?
did you know that Mrs. McElhenney's Aunt Rose is going to drop in on her tonight unexpectedly from Cleveland?
Why, no, I didn't.
Well, she didn't either. I guess that puts you both in the same boat, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know anybody named Mrs.
Mrs. McElhenney. She lives next door to us. She's a wonderful person. Harvey told her about Aunt Rose and her this afternoon. That's a very interesting little news item, and you're perfectly free to pass it around.
Well,
Do you want to come downtown with me and have a drink?
Thank you very much, but I'm waiting for Dr. Chumley, and if he came down and found me gone, he'd be liable to raise, he'd be irritated.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we? Some other time, perhaps?
I'll tell you what I'll do, however.
What will you do, however? I'm interested.
If a friend comes in while I'm still here, I'd be happy to give him a little note for you.
Would you do that? I'd certainly appreciate that.
No trouble at all. I write it on the back of this. Would you like me to tell your friend if he comes in while I'm still here?
Tell him to meet me downtown if he has no other plans.
Meet Mr. Dow downtown. Any particular place downtown?
Oh, he knows where. Harvey knows his town like a book.
Harvey. You know where. Harvey what?
Just Harvey.
I'll tell you what.
What?
Dr. Chumley and I are going down to the 12th and Montview. Dr. McClure's having a cocktail party.
A cocktail party at 12th and Montview.
We're going there in a few minutes. We'd be happy to give your friend a lift in town.
Oh, I'd hate to impose on you, but I'd certainly appreciate that.
No trouble at all. Dr. McClure's having a cocktail party for his sister from Wichita.
I didn't know Dr. McClure had a sister in Wichita.
Oh, you know Dr. McClure?
No.
But
You're quite sure you're having time to come into town with me and have a drink?
I really couldn't, but thanks just the same.
Very well. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
I hope to see you very soon.
Yes, so do I.
Goodbye. Oh, and you can't miss Harvey. He's very tall. Like that.
That Simmons woman is uncooperative, Doctor. Refused to admit that she is this large white rabbit. Insists it's her brother. Give her 2 of these at 9 and another at 10. She continues to be so restless. A trip to the Hydro room at 7 and another at 8. Then we'll see if she won't cooperate, won't we, Doctor?
Yes, Doctor.
You know where to call me if you need me. Ready, pet?
Yes, Billy, and Willie?
Yes?
There was a man here, a man named, let me see. His name was Dowd, Elwood P. Dowd.
That's Mrs. Simmons' brother, Doctor. I told him he could have a look around, and I gave him full visiting privileges.
She mustn't see anyone tonight. Not anyone at all. Tell him that.
Yes, Doctor.
He wasn't looking for her. He was looking for someone, some friend of his.
Who could that be, Dr. Sanderson?
I don't know, Doctor. Was there anyone with Dowd when you saw him, Miss Kelly?
Not that I saw, Doctor. Well, he said there was. He said he last saw his friend sitting in the chair there with his hat and coat. He seemed quite disappointed.
Dr. Sanderson?
I told him if we locate his friend, we give him a lift in town. He could ride in the back seat. Was that all right, Billy?
Of course, of course.
Oh, here it is. His friend name was Harvey.
Harvey?
He didn't give me his last name, but he mentioned something else about him. Kuka. But I didn't quite get what that was.
Harvey?
He said his friend was very tall. Well, why are you looking like that, Willie? This man was a nice man, polite man, and he merely asked if he could get his friend left in town. If you can't do a favor for someone, why on earth are we living?
Where'd he go, Mrs. Chumley? How long ago was he last in?
Get me that hat! By George, I'll find out about this.
I don't know where he went, just a second ago.
Main gate, Henry. Dr. Sanderson.
Gaffney. Judge Gaffney.
Did a man in a brown suit go through there a minute ago? He did? He's gone?
Judge Gaffney, this is Dr. William Chumley, the psychiatrist. I'm making a routine checkup on the spelling of a name before entering it into our system. Judge, you telephoned out here this afternoon about having a client of yours committed. How is that name spelled? With a W, not a U. Mr. Elwood P. Dowd. Thank you, Judge. Dr. Sanderson! I believe your name is Sanderson.
Yes, Doctor.
You know that much, do you? You went to medical school. You specialized in the study of psychiatry. You graduated, you went forth. Perhaps they neglected to tell you that a rabbit has 2 large pointed ears. That hat would have to be perforated to make room for those ears.
That would seem reasonable enough this afternoon, Doctor.
Doctor, the function of a psychiatrist is to tell the difference between those who are reasonable and those who merely act reasonably. Do you know what you have done to me? Well, you don't answer. I'll tell you. You have permitted a psychopathic case to walk off these grounds with an overgrown, large, white rabbit. You have subjected me to the humiliation of having to call of all things a lawyer to find out who came out here to be committed and who came out here to commit. Just a minute, Wilson. I want you. I will now have to do something I haven't done in 15 years. I will now have to go after this man Elwood down and bring him back here. And when I do bring him back, your connection with this institution has ended as of that moment. Wilson, get the car. Pet, call the McClures and say we can't make it. Miss Kelly, come upstairs with me and get the woman out of the tub!
Yes, Doctor. I'll have to tell the cook we'll be home for dinner. She'll be furious. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am?
What is a puka?
A what?
A puka.
You can search me, Mrs. Chumley.
Oh, I wonder if it's encyclopedia here. I wonder if it's a lodge or what it is. Oh, I don't dare stop doing this now. Dr. Chumley won't want to find me here still when he comes down. He'll raise, oh dear.
P-O-O-K-A. Puka, from old Celtic mythology. The puka appears here and there, now and then, to this one and to that one, at its own caprice. A wise but mischievous creature, very fond of rum pots, crackpots, and how are you, Mr. Wilson? How are you, Mr. Wilson? Who in the encyclopedia wants to know? To hell with it!
That's right. The stairs at the end of the hall. It goes up to the 3rd floor. Go right up. I'll be with you in a minute.
Well, where is she?
Where's who? Whom do you mean, Judge Gaffney? Sit down, won't you?
I mean your mother.
Where's Rena Louise? Why, Judge, you know where she is. She went out to the sanitarium with
I know that. But why was I called at the club with a lot of hysteria? Couldn't even get what she was talking about. Carrying on something fierce.
Mother, carrying on. What about?
I don't know. She was hysterical.
Well, that's strange. She should have taken Uncle Elwood out to the sanitarium. All she had to do was put an... Did you find it? I'll be right up. They found it.
Who? Found what? What are you talking about?
When Mother left with Uncle Elwood, I went out to the real estate office to put the house on the market. And what do you think I found there?
I'm not a quiz kid.
Well, I found a man there who wanted to buy an old house just like this to cut up into buffet apartments. He's going through it now.
Now see here, Myrtle May. This house doesn't belong to you. It belongs to your Uncle Elwood.
But now that Uncle Elwood is locked up, Mother controls the property now, doesn't she?
Where is your mother? Where is Rena Louise?
I told you, Judge. She went out with Uncle Elwood to Chumley's Rest to tell them about Harvey and put Uncle Elwood in.
Why did she call me when I was in the middle of a game and scream at me to meet her here about something important?
I don't know. I simply don't know. Have you got the deed to this house?
Certainly. It's in my safe. Myrtle, I feel kind of bad about this thing of locking Elwood up.
Mother and I can take a long trip now. Out to Pasadena.
I always liked that boy. He could have done anything, been anything, made a place for himself in this community.
And all he did was get a big white rabbit.
He had everything. Brains, personality, friends. Men liked him. Women liked him. I liked him.
Are you telling me that once Uncle Elwood was like other men, that women actually liked him. I mean, in that way. Oh, not since he started running around with this big rabbit. But I did once. Once. That mailbox of your grandmother's was full of those little blue scented envelopes for Elwood. I couldn't believe it. Of course, there was always something different about Elwood. I don't doubt that. Yes. He was always so calm about any sudden change in plans. I used to admire it. I should have been suspicious. Take your average man. Looking up and seeing a big white rabbit. He'd do something about it. But not Elwood. He took that calmly too. And look where it got him. Oh, you don't dream of how far overboard Uncle Elwood has gone on this rabbit. Oh, yes, I do. He's had that rabbit in my office most of the time. I'm old, but I don't miss much. What's that noise? The prospective buyer on the 3rd floor. Oh, Judge! Hey, Louise! What's wrong, girl? What happened?
I never thought I'd see either of you ever again!
Take it over, Judge! She looks like she's going to faint! Now, Mother, you're all right! You're going to be perfectly... Oh! Steady, girl! Steady!
Please, not so fast!
Not so fast, runaway! Ease her in.
Please give me somewhere I can sit down.
Here you are, girl. Easy. The gas bill! Here's some tea, Myrtle. Would you like some tea, Veda? I can get you some tea, Mother. Get her caught up, Judge. Let Myrtle get her caught up, Veda. Get her caught up, Myrtle! What happened to you, Mother?
I want you to sue them. Please, sue them.
What happened to you, Mother?
They put me in and they let Elwood out.
What's this? Mother!
Just look at my hair.
Why? What did you say? What did you do? You must have done something!
I didn't do anything. I simply told them about Elwood and Harvey.
Then how could that happen to you? I don't understand it.
Well, I was walking along the path and this awful man stepped out. He was a white slaver. I know it. He had on one of those white suits. That's how they advertise.
A man? What did he do, Mother?
He hustled me into that sanitarium and he...
Go on, Veda, Louise. Go on, girl. Poor Mother. Was he a young man? Myrtle, man! Perhaps you'd better leave the room. Now, I should say not. Go on, Mother. What did he do, Veda?
Then he took me upstairs and he tore my clothes off!
Oh, did you hear that, Judge? Go on, Mother. By God, I'll sue for this!
They dumped me down in a tub of water!
Oh, for heaven's sake!
I always thought that what you were showed on your face. Don't you believe it, Judge? Don't you believe it, Myrtle? They hustled me into that sanitarium and began treating me like I was a woman of the streets. But I fought. I always said that if a man jumped out at me, I'd fight. Haven't I always said that, Myrtle?
She's always said that, Judge. That's another always told me to do.
And then the doctors came upstairs and began asking me all sorts of filthy questions, all about sex urges and all that filthy stuff. That place ought to be cleaned up, Omar. Promise me you'll get the authorities to clean it up.
This stinks to high heaven, Veda. By God, it stinks.
They began treating me like I was a crazy woman. But they only did that just for
to get the authorities to clean it up.
Judge, tell me, is that all doctors do in places like that? Think about sex?
Well, I don't know.
Because if it is, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. It's all in their head anyway. Why can't they go out for long walks in the fresh air? Judge Gaffney walked everywhere for years. Didn't you, Judge?
Let me take some notes on this. You said these doctors came up to talk to you. Dr. Chumley and what was the other doctor's name?
Sanderson. But don't you believe a word he says, Judge? He's a liar. Close-set eyes. They're always liars. Besides, I told him something in strictest confidence and he just went and blabbed it.
What exactly did you tell them, Mother?
Oh, what difference does it make? I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. You can't trust anybody.
Anything you told this Sanderson, you can tell us. This is your daughter, and I am your lawyer.
I know which is which.
Well, Mother, this is the important thing anyway. Where is Uncle Elwood?
I should have known better than to do something about him. Something protects him. That awful puka!
Where is Uncle Elwood? Answer me!
How should I know? They're not interested in men at places like that. Don't act so naive, Myrtle May. What's that noise?
I found a buyer for the house.
What?
Listen, Mother, we've got to find Uncle Elwood. No matter who jumped at you, we've still got to lock up Uncle Elwood.
Oh, how should I know where he is? Next time, you take him, Judge. Wait until Elwood hears about this. He won't stand for it. Don't forget to sue him, Judge. Myrtle, all I hope is that never, ever, as long as you live, a man takes the clothes off you and dumps you down in a tub of water.
Now see, Mother muffed everything. No matter what happened, Uncle Elwood's still running around with Harvey. The thing for me to do is take some more notes. It's all Uncle Elwood's fault! He knew what Mother was up to, so he had her put in. Then he ran. Oh no, don't talk like that. Your uncle thinks the world and all of it. While he was just a little boy, he wanted to share everything he had with her. I'm not giving up. We'll get detectives. We'll find him. And besides, you better save some of that sympathy for me and Mother. You realize what we have to put up with. Wait till I show you something that Uncle Elwood brought home about 6 months ago, and we had to hide it out in the garage. You just wait. I'm going up to talk to Veda. There's more in this than she's telling me. I sense that. Judge, please just let me show you first. All right, I'll wait.
Okay, is he here?
What?
That crackpot with the rabbit, is he here?
No. And who, may I ask, are you?
Not here, Doctor. Okay. Dr. Chumley's coming in anyway. What's your name?
Chumley? Well, well, well. I've got something to say to him.
Quit stalling, let's have it.
I am Judge Gaffney. Where's Dr. Chumley?
The reason I asked your name is the doctor always likes to know who he's talking to. This guy says his name is Judge Gaffney, Doctor.
Well, well, Chumley.
Good evening, Judge. Let's not waste time. Has he been here?
Who? Elwood? No, but...
Sure he ain't been here? He's wise now. He's hiding. It'd be an awful job to smoke him out.
It will be more difficult. They're sly, they're cunning. But I get them. I always get them. Have you got the list of places we beg, Wilson?
Right here, Doctor.
Read it.
So far, we've been to 17 bars. Eddie's Place, Crystal Hard Hat, Bessie's Barn Dance, the 4th Avenue Firehouse, the 10th and 9th and 12th Avenue Firehouse, you know, just to be sure, the Union Station, the grain elevator, and, wait, say, why does this guy need to go down to a grain elevator?
The foreman is a friend of his. He has many friends, many places.
I came by to ask Mrs. Simmons if she has any other suggestions as to the whereabouts of her brother.
Dr. Chumley, I have to inform you that Mrs. Simmons has retained me to file suit against you.
What?
For what happened at the sanitarium this afternoon.
A suit?
And while we're on that subject...
Now that's pretty, ain't it, Doctor? After us dragging your tail all over town to find that guy.
What happened this afternoon was an unfortunate mistake. I've discharged my assistant who made it, and I am personally interested in this case. I will do whatever it takes to get this man held down back to the sanitarium. And my interest in the case is something no amount of money can buy. You can ask any of them.
But this business this afternoon, Doctor...
Water under the dam. This is how I see what happened. This is how I see this thing. The important item now is to get this man down back to the sanitarium where he belongs.
That's right, Judge. That's just what I think. Let me introduce to you Miss Myrtle May Simmons, Mr. Dow's niece, Mrs. Simmons' daughter. How do you do, Dr. Chumley?
How do you do, Miss Simmons?
Hello, Myrtle.
What?
Now then, let me speak to Mrs. Simmons.
Mother won't come down. I know she won't. You try and get Mother down here, Judge. But see here, your mother was manhandled. She was... God knows what she was. The man's approach to her was not professional. It was personal.
Wilson, this is a serious charge.
Dr. Chumley, I've been with you for 10 years. Are you gonna believe... I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Gaffney. Judge Omar Gaffney.
Thanks. You take the word of this old blister Gaffney.
Wilson!
Me and a dame who sees a rabbit.
It's not Mrs. Simmons who sees the rabbit, it's her brother. Yes, it's Uncle Alan! If you'll come with me, Dr. Chumley.
Certainly, Judge. Wilson, wait here. I have a situation.
Okay, Doctor. So, your name's Myrtle May?
What? Oh, yes?
You do realize if we grab your uncle, you're liable to be coming down to the sanitarium on visiting days, right?
Oh, I don't really know.
Well, if you do, I'll be there.
You will?
Yeah, and if you don't see me right away, don't give up. Stick around, I'll show up.
You... Oh! Oh, well.
Yeah, you heard Dr. Chumley tell me to wait?
Yeah.
Tell you what, while I'm waiting, I can sure use a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
Oh, certainly. Yes. If you'll forgive me, I will precede you to the kitchen.
Yes, sir, you're all right, Myrtle May.
What?
Dr. Chumley noticed it right away, and he don't miss a trick.
What?
Tell you something else, too.
What?
Not only have you got a nice build, but kid, you've got something else, too.
What?
You've got the screwiest uncle that ever stuck his puss inside our nut house.
Hello, Chumley's Rest. Is this Dr. Chumley? Oh, Mrs. Chumley. That's nice. This is L.P. Dowd speaking. Listen, were you able to locate Harvey? Oh, well, that's all right. I guess I'll find him. Listen, sorry I couldn't catch up with you at the McClure cocktail party tonight. The people were all charming and I was able to leave quite a few of my cards. I waited until you phoned and said you couldn't come because a patient had escaped. Where am I? I'm here, but I'm leaving soon. I must find Harvey. Yes. Well, goodbye. Give my regards to anyone you happen to run into.
You might as well go home and wait, Doctor. I'm suing you for $50,000, and that's final.
Mrs. Simmons!
Hello? No, who is this?
The picture over your mantel.
That picture happens to be the pride of this household.
Who painted it?
I don't know. Some man. He came around for the sittings and we paid him and never saw him again. Hello? Yes. No, this is Dexter, 1697.
Well, I suppose if you have the money to pay people, you can persuade them to do anything.
Doctor, when you helped me out of the tub at your place, what did I say to you?
You expressed yourself. I don't remember the words.
I said, Doctor, this is belated civility. Didn't I say that?
You said something of the sort.
Well, you brought this up. You might as well learn something quick. I took a course in fine art this last winter, and the difference between a mechanical thing like a photograph and a fine oil painting is this. A mechanical thing like a photograph only shows the reality. A fine oil painting not only shows the reality, but the dream behind it. It's our dreams that keep us going, that separate us from the beasts. I wouldn't even want to live if all I thought it was eating and sleeping and taking my clothes off and putting them back on.
Steady now, Mrs. Simmons. Steady now. Now, what's the matter?
Doctor, that is not my mother.
Boy, am I glad to hear that.
Doctor, Owen's been here. He's been here.
Better keep quiet. Oh, I'll get it. Hello? Yes. Who's this? It's your brother, Mrs. Simmons.
Let me speak to him.
Don't tell him I'm here. Be casual.
Hi, Owen. Where are you? Why don't you come home? Hold on. He wants to know if Harvey's here.
Tell him Harvey is here.
But he isn't.
Tell him he is here so we can figure out where he is. We have to humor him.
Yes, dear. Harvey's here. He wants me to call Harvey to the telephone.
Say Harvey is here, but he's in the bathtub.
Bathtub?
Say he's in the bathtub and we'll send him over there right away. That way he'll tell us where he is.
Doctor.
Now you've got to do it, Mrs. Simmons.
Yes, Ellen. Harvey's here, but he can't come to the telephone right now because he's in the bathtub. We'll send him over as soon as he's dry. Now, where are you? What?
Did he hang up?
Harvey walked right through the door. He told me to look in the bathtub. There must be a stranger. But I know where he is. He's down at Charlie's place.
Charlie's place. That's 2 blocks down and 1 over, right?
Yes, Doctor, but don't go after him. You'll only regret it if you do.
But Mrs. Simmons, if I'm to help your brother.
He can't be helped. He deserves to be locked up and left.
You consider your brother a dangerous man?
Dangerous.
Why?
I won't tell you why, but if I didn't think he was dangerous, why would I be asking for a permanent commitment for him?
Then I must observe this man as he talks to this rabbit. Look at the expressions on his face. You do say he talks to this rabbit?
He tells Harvey everything.
What's that?
I said of course he speaks to him. But don't go after them, Doctor. You'll only regret it.
Nonsense, Mrs. Simmons. You underestimate me.
You underestimate my brother.
Not at all. Don't worry now. I can handle him.
That's what you think. Myrtle, can you please see who's in the bathtub? Oh!
Thank you. I may call later.
How about the stuff in your room, Doctor? Upstairs?
All packed. Thanks, Wilson.
Tough for getting bounced. I had you pegged for the one who made the grade.
Those are the breaks.
When are you taking off?
As soon as Dr. Chumley gets back.
Have you gotten a report back yet from the desk sergeant and the police accident bureau?
Not yet. I just talked to the downtown dispensary. They haven't heard from him.
It's beginning to smell awfully funny to me. 4 hours he's been gone, not a word from him. Look, Doctor, I may never see you again, so I just want to say I wish you a lot of luck, and I am mighty sorry you got a kicking yap, right?
Thanks, Wilson. Good luck to you, too.
Look, Kelly, let me know when you hear from the desk sergeant again. If there's no sign of the doctor anytime soon, I'm going to go out and look for him. He should know better than to go after a psychopath without me.
I'd like to help you look for the doctor, too, Wilson.
Oh, that's swell of you, Doctor. Right after he gives you the brush.
I have no resentment towards Dr. Chumley. He was right, I was wrong. Chumley's the biggest man in his field. It's a shame not to be able to work with him anymore.
You're not so small yourself, Doctor.
Thanks, Wilson.
Don't mention it.
Dr. Sanderson,
Yes, Miss Kelly?
I'd just like to say that I wish you a lot of luck, and I'm sorry you have to leave.
Are you sure you can spare these good wishes?
On second thought, I guess I can. Forgive it.
This is for nothing. Just a little advice. I'd be a little careful if I were you about the kind of company I kept.
I beg your pardon.
Don't have to, I told you it was free. But I saw you dancing with that trip down at the Rose Room last Saturday night at the Frontier Hotel.
Oh, did you? I didn't notice you.
He looked like a schizophrenic all the way across the floor.
You shouldn't have given him a thought, Doctor. He was my date, not yours.
That was his mentality. The rest of them, well.
She was beautiful, though.
Who?
That girl you were with.
I thought you didn't notice.
You bumped into us twice. How could I help it?
Not that it makes any difference to you, but see, she has a sweet kind of disposition, and she knows how to conduct herself.
Funny, she couldn't rate a better date on a Saturday night.
And she has an excellent mind.
Then why doesn't she use it?
Oh, like you're to be censured for the flippin' hard shell you have. You're probably compensating for something.
I am not, and don't use any of your psychiatry on me.
Oh, if I could try something else on you just once, just to see if you'd melt under any circumstances. I doubt it.
You'll never know, Doctor.
Because you interest me as a case history, that's all. I'd like to know where you get that inflated ego of yours.
If you aren't the meanest, inflated ego, case history,
Don't run away, let's finish it.
oh, leave me alone.
Glad to